Righto, so my name is Jacob Richards. I've been involved with South Maitland Football Club, the Phoenix, for the last few years, since their first season in the competition, maybe three, 4 years ago. Played for the club for 2 years and took a bit of a break from playing last year to coach at the Newcastle Jets Academy, which was very fulfilling and very rewarding. But back at the club, the Phoenix this season, to play. I'm still young enough to play. The body hasn't given way yet, so I'll be playing, and it was a good chance to stay involved on the coaching side of things as well. So I'll be the youth grassroots technical director for the upcoming season. So I think my first real coaching role was back in maybe 2012, 2013 when I was in the United States. So I spent 4 years over there and I got involved with coaching grassroots, really young kids from the age of anywhere from 5 through to 7, 8, 9. So I had a bit of experience working with the youth of America, I guess you could say. And then when I returned home to Australia, it basically continued playing until I moved to Melbourne. I had a role in Melbourne in the Victorian NPL where I was an assistant coach for a really, really good side, but got to work under a former youth international and a former professional player, which was really good to be able to learn from him. And then more recently, moving back to Newcastle, I've been involved with the Western Bears in the Northern New South Wales NPL for a number of years with an under-15s team, and sort of took them through to under-18. So I spent 3 years there. Obviously obtained my youth and senior C license, whilst I was working through that. And then more recently, this last season, was at the Newcastle Jets, working with the under-18s boys academy team, which was, like I said, really cool. So yeah, that's sort of the history of my coaching journey, and helping the Phoenix was the next logical step for me. So firstly, my role is probably more catered towards, I think, helping the coaches first and foremost. So, those are the guys that are going to be there every training session, every game day. So it's, I'll be implementing some training plans for the coaching staff first and foremost, and then with sort of the growth and development side of things with the juniors, I think it's hard with a team sport and with something like soccer where everything's sort of subjective and it's opinionated. So I think giving the kids, the athletes, again, some clear goals and clear targets, but also offering a variety of testing throughout the season where they can actually see their progression through fitness testing, speed and agility, obviously, and then those sort of key skills, I guess you could say, with the ball, dribbling, passing, striking the ball, first touching and control. So being able to turn that into like a number where they can track their progression over the course of the year, I think keeps young people motivated that can actually see their hard work paying off, which I know can be sort of difficult sometimes in a sport like soccer, football. So we're really trying to bridge the gap as well between the NPL youth programs, the PYL, and obviously JDL, and sort of the plans they have in place for youth development. And being a community club, there is a big gap between the two. So it's trying to, I think, bridge that gap between the competitions, so we can give these kids the best chance to maybe move on up the ladder of football here in Northern New South Wales. So yeah, excited to be able to again bridge that gap. Yeah, so I played with the club. As I mentioned, I played with the club South Maitland Phoenix for a couple of years when the club sort of first started in the Zone League competition here in Newcastle. And the guys that run the club, they have some big goals and big visions, and over the next couple of years they've set clear targets that they want to reach. And I think that's really cool, having been involved with football and the coaching side of things for a while now. Like, there's not too many clubs that have clear visions and clear goals, and I love being a part of like a project, so I think it's going to be awesome for me to be able to be involved with the growth of a football club, which I guess I haven't been involved with in the past. So that really drew me in. I guess the fact that, like I said, I played here and I know the guys really well. They're ambitious and they have clear goals, so that's one of the reasons why I'm here. So why I enjoy I guess youth development and the growth sort of aspect from a playing perspective and helping the juniors. I think I just love being involved. I love being a part of someone's journey. Whether that's helping them for one season or a year or over a number of seasons, like being able to see them grow and develop into young men or young women is really cool. A good example, I had a young boy that I coached only for one season at Western that made his debut for the Newcastle Jets A-League team last weekend. Granted, like, he's really talented and probably didn't need my help, in that one season, but it was good just to be a part of that journey, So I love, obviously the growth and development side of things, but just being involved in a young person's life is really rewarding, and it's my day-to-day job. I work with young athletes and their families, in helping them secure opportunities in the United States. So I've always been involved with juniors in some capacity. So like I said, I just like being involved in the journey, I think.